From Sefer Tehillim, from the book of Psalms. How lovely is your dwelling place. Yedidot mishkenotecha. O Lord of hosts, how lovely is your dwelling place. I cry aloud, I long for your abode. The joys of earth have left my soul unsatisfied. My heart and flesh desire the living God. Within your walls the sparrow finds a nesting place, that near your altars she may have her young. How happy those who dwell within your house, O Lord, by whom your holy praises are forever sung. Long ago, I asked why people get angry at a personal slight so easily. But when it comes to feeling outrage or calling out in solidarity for atrocities throughout the world, there is not a whimper. Evil individuals that form groups like Hamas know how to hide inside the cloak of a religion. Now, you're all Bible worshipers. 2 weeks ago, in synagogues throughout the world, 3 Hebrew words were in the book of Noah, the book of Noah. Vatimale haaretz Hamas. The first time the word Hamas is used, and it's used in the Hebrew Bible, right after the creation story. In Hebrew, Hamas means lawlessness. The misuse of religion to Hamas is comparable to how sickeningly strategic it was for them to hide in Israeli soldier uniforms to entrap their unsuspecting innocent victims. The Nazis hid their crimes, but Hamas filmed their atrocities to glorify what they did in honor of God, who is not God. Faithful believers of all faiths know that our watchful God is not celebrating atrocities anywhere in this world. God is witnessing whether the faithful, compassionate believers of all faiths are standing up, speaking out, or once again shockingly silent. Why would any member of any religion that believes in a loving God be so hateful to God's chosen people, so stated in the Bible? I wish everyone knew what I'm going to say now. That a chosen person and a chosen people does not make you special. It comes with severe consequences. It can cause actionable jealousies, and throughout history has become a warped justification to target and kill Jews. Now, what you're not hearing on the BBC and other places, I want to give you the historical facts. The Hebrew Bible indicates the number of Hebrews that left Egypt at about 3 million people. During the plundering and destruction of Jerusalem in 70 CE, there were as many as 1,100,000 slain, along with 97,000 who were sold as slaves. Between 132 and 136 CE, the Romans killed 580,000 Jews living in Judah, changed to Judea. The word Judea was a Greek and Roman purposeful modification of the Hebrew word Judah. The Romans conquered Jerusalem and Judea, and they renamed Judea Palestina to minimize Jewish identification with the land of Israel. They did it then, and for today, and for the future. To me, it's Eretz Yisrael, it's Eretz Canaan in the Hebrew Bible. In the first century, 4 million Jews lived in the world. Jews from the land of Israel made up about 1/6 of the world Jewish population in that era. A respected 13th century author gave a figure of almost 7 million of Jews in the Roman period. The figure of 7 million within and 1 million outside the Roman world in the mid-first century became widely accepted. The Middle Ages were a period of expulsions for Jews. In 1290, 16,000 Jews were expelled from England. In 1306, 100,000 from France. And in 1492, about 200,000 from Spain. During the 5 centuries from 1000 to 1500, 380,000 Jews were killed during persecutions, reducing the total number in the world to about 1 million. By the early 13th century, the world Jewish population had fallen to 2 million. A recent study indicated modern Ashkenazi Jews, who are a mix of Middle Eastern and European Jewry, descended from only 350 individuals who lived around 1350 AD. My beloved wife, who's here, of 47 happy, wonderful years, and I are 100% descendant from this small group of Jews. As a matter of fact, my father's father was born in Jerusalem. In the 18th century, there were 1 million Jews. In the last quarter of the 19th century, 1 million Jews from Europe emigrated primarily here to the United States, but also to the United Kingdom. Toward the end of the 19th century, estimates of the Jews in the world range from 6 million to 11 million. In 1939, the core Jewish population reached its historical peak of 17 million, 0.8% of the global population. Because of the Holocaust, the number had been reduced to 11 million. By the end of 1945, 6 million Jews were killed. The population grew again to around 13 million by the 1970s, but has since recorded near zero growth until around 2005 due to low fertility rates and to assimilation. Over the next 4 decades, the number of Jews around the world is expected to increase from 14 million in 2015 to 16 million in 2060. Based on historical precedent, these projections depend on no more barbaric, genocidal acts and the cessation of a nursery rhyme sounding from the river to the sea. Don't be fooled by that. That's a clever way to say the River Jordan to the Mediterranean Sea. It is a call for the annihilation of the state of Israel and the Jewish people. If history is an indicator, evil radicals will do everything in their power to eradicate the Jews. If Israel survives, the Jewish people survives. Since antiquity, in every century, Jews were massacred or expelled somewhere in the world. The difference today is that the Jewish people's ability to fight back against enemies and pernicious propaganda is possible because of Israel. Now, very important. I was a therapist at a psychiatric hospital in New York, and I worked with suicidal teenagers for many years, giving them hope and saving lives. But we need to save our young people. Something is happening to them, and you need to look at it instead of thinking that you're just not part of it. Young people throughout the world, including our United States, must not continue to learn at educational institutions that eliminate logical thinking, which discard historical facts and harden their students' hearts against anyone they choose to. It is either diversity for all or all against diversity. I have faith that the world can return to being all-inclusive again. Why? because of God-loving Christians, God-loving Muslims, and all God-loving human beings as they speak out and join to protect God-loving Jewish people. Don't listen to the stereotypes. In conclusion, evil in every generation seduces and manipulates good, decent people through fear and unimaginable terror done to others, which makes them silent. But I, just as you, I put my trust and faith in God. And I know that steadfast friends like my brother, Father Sharbach, and if you, his beloved congregation, stand with him, you are with my wife and my children, my grandchildren, and you will help me to believe that the people of Israel and the Jewish people will live on. I conclude with the word shalom, pachem, and peace. May the world know peace.